What's up, Thrashers? And welcome back to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back for yet another CD collection update video. It's been almost a month since the last one that I posted, and this might be the biggest update of them all because look at this whole fucking thing. It almost fell into smithereens. So we're just going to go from the top of the stack to the bottom as we go along and give my quick opinions on them. So we start off with a very rare and obscure album, a band that was very short-lived. They only put out this album and then I think another EP and then broke up in the mid-90s. Winter Into Darkness. This was a pillar album in the early development of the Death Doom genre. And these guys were from New York, and they took their name Winter from the Amoebics song Winter. Musically, like I said, it's Death Doom, very Celtic Frost inspired, because you get some of those grimy, doomy moments of a Celtic Frost during that, like, mid-80s period of the band. But yeah, this is very underrated. Death Doom, this was one of the earliest albums in the genre, along with Sempiternal, Death Reign's first album, The Rack by Asphyx, and Lost Paradise by Paradise Lost. This is definitely in that, and Mental Funeral by Autopsy, definitely in the conversation for one of the earliest Death Doom albums to come out, and it's a great album, top to bottom. I mean, it's murky, it's a bummer too, it's very, very much a bummer. I mean, hell, that album cover is just a gray bummer in itself. But yeah, Into Darkness by Winter. Next up, we got a death metal debut classic, well, underrated classic, Let Us Pray by Vital Remains. I mean, I've always been saying this as of late when it comes to Vital Remains. This to me is like Deicide, but better. You know, the whole satanic death metal idea, but they know how to write the songs better than Deicide. I mean, here you get some influences from like Merciful Fate and Candlemass, among so many other, Black Sabbath, but it's very, very evil, very heavy, and I would argue that this is one of the earliest blackened death metal albums, because there's some black metal influence on this album, and I don't think people give Vital Remains enough credit for being an early contributor to the whole blackened death metal genre. Hell, they even wore corpse paint when they started. That was very much inspired by the Norwegian scene. So yeah, Vital Remains, an early contributor to that genre, or sub-genre. But the album itself, it's fantastic. War in Paradise, Uncultivated Grave, Cult of the Dead, Frozen Terror. Just evil, yet amazing music. And I love the drum production on this too. Like, one of my favorite drum productions ever. Now we get into some classic territory. First, we got Van Halen, Diver Down, filled with some covers, but some other great original tunes like Little Guitars, Cathedral, but most known for the great cover of Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison. May you rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen, and may Van Halen, the band itself, rest in peace. Great album, 1982, classic hard rock. Heavy metal borderline, but still it's a great album. Same goes for their second album, Van Halen 2. So now I have most of the classic Roth era, so I'm only missing Women and Children First and 1984. I got Van Halen 1 and Fair Warning already, but now we got Diver Down and Van Halen 2. Kind of an underrated album in my opinion. I don't feel like people talk about this album quite as much as the other ones from the Roth era, but songs like You're No Good, Dance the Night Away, Beautiful Girls, Spanish Fly, it's just greatness from Van Halen. Next up, we get a gothic classic with Typo Negative, Bloody Kisses. Now, I already have this album as part of the Typo Roadrunner collection, but I want to get the albums individually to go into the collection, and maybe eventually do a giveaway with the Roadrunner box set. But still, this is a phenomenon of an album, an early early on in the gothic metal genre, along with Paradise Lost and My Dying Bride and Tiamat, among so many others. But Typo, in my opinion, is the pillar band when it comes to gothic metal. I mean, songs like Black Number One, Christian Woman, their cover of Summer Breeze, but other songs like We Hate Everyone, it's just... Rest in peace, Peter Steele. Rest in peace. Next up, we get to another one that I already have, but I wanted to get separate, and that's one of my all-time favorite death metal albums, Obituary, Cause of Death. I mean, what more can I say about this album that I haven't said already in the past? I mean, top to bottom, it's a classic in death metal. I also got Slowly We Rot coming in the mail, but that will probably be saved for the next update, which more than likely will be sometime early November, possibly. But yeah, Obituary, Cause of Death, all-time classic. And one of the best album covers of all time as well. Now we get to a bit of a hidden, underrated gem in Thrash, in crossover Thrash. Nuclear Assault Game Over. I mean, Dan Lilker started this band with some buddies, and I mean... fast, heavy, brutal, punky. I mean, the album cover is really cool as well. But yeah, I mean, songs like Radiation Sickness, Hang the Pope, Brain Death. And this version includes the Plague EP that has the song Buttfuck on it. But yeah, just an amazing crossover thrash album. It's just absolutely brilliant. Now we get into back to some more evil territory, and that is none other than Necrophobic, The Nocturnal Silence. Again, along with Vital Remains, Necrophobic would be also one of the early pioneers of the blackened death metal style. I mean, this sounds like basically if you were to mix Left Hand Path era Entombed with Under the Sign of the Black Mark era Bathory, and you get this album. To me, it's just top to bottom. Again, it's evil, it's murky, it's heavy, yet very melodic at the same time. And they're still going strong to this day. In fact, their last album that came out last year, I actually need to get at some point, and it's an amazing album in itself. But yeah, Necrophobic, The Nocturnal Silence, it's an all-time classic. I would argue that without this album, you would not have bands like Belphegor, Hate, Behemoth, and even the next band that I'm going to talk about, and that is Murkskog's Superior Massacre. Now, I already got this one. I got a promo version of the album, but I wanted to get a proper copy, and I got it right here. I mean, top to bottom, it's brutal, blackened death metal. It's just... It's basically like if you were to mix Behemoth and Cannibal Corpse together. And I mean, songs like Trapped in Torment, Over the Gore, Blood Ejaculation, just amazing songs. I absolutely love this album and highly recommend for any fan of Cannibal Corpse, Behemoth, any blackened death metal or even brutal death metal. This is definitely going to be up your alley. And we're not even halfway through this fucking stack and we got so much left. But next up, next two albums, in fact, are going to be the last two that I needed to complete my Morbid Angel collection. We got Gateways to Annihilation. I mean, this is a modern death metal classic back in 2000. I mean, songs like Summoning Redemption, To the Victor, The Spoils, Awakening, Opening of the Gates. I mean... And it's the second album with Steve Tucker in the band, and this was before things started going downhill for Morbid Angel. Like their last three, Heretic, especially The Illusionary Anus, and Kingdom's Disdain, not a fan of those albums, personally, but still, Gateways to Annihilation, I would honestly say it was like the end of the golden era for Morbid Angel that started from the moment they started through to this. And speaking of where they started, that brings me to the Abominations of Desolation demo that Earache Records put out in 1991. It was recorded in 86, in 86. And it was supposed to have been released as a full album on Goric Records, which was a record label that David Vincent ran, until Vincent pooched Trey Azektow from the band, and basically it led to, and also with Trey Mike Browning's girlfriend cheating on him with Trey, yeah, it led to the end of the band at the time before getting reformed with a new lineup. But yeah, Abominations of Desolation, while most of the songs would get re-recorded and on like Altars of Madness and a couple other albums, still it's a great demo for what it was, and also it's the only stuff with Mike Browning on vocals and drums, so definitely give it a listen if you're in the mood. But next up, this one took me a long time to find. I managed to get it, and it's one of the last things I needed to complete my Metallica collection. The Live Shit Binge and Purge triple live album double DVD set. I mean, a couple of the discs are a little messed up, but I could probably get them fixed at some point. I haven't watched the DVDs of this yet. I might check them out later on, but yeah, I mean, the live albums, the live stuff, like, holy shit. One of the best live albums of all time, in my opinion, when they did the, I think it's the Mexico City stuff. Yeah, it was the Mexico City show from '93 that they did for the album, while San Diego and Seattle were the DVD versions, or on tape even, back in the day when it came out in '93, I think, when it came out originally. Yeah, '93. But yeah, it's an amazing triple live album. It's mwah. Just mwah. Now this next one actually is going to be something I don't think anybody watching this video is going to know, but this is from a local band from my area. My mom is friends with their drummer named Mark, and this past Saturday, while I was working a benefit at my shop, he stopped by and actually gave me a free copy of their latest album. If I can find what it's called, How Do We Fall by King's Hollow. Now, this is more hard rock, alternative metal, kind of like Chevelle and Breaking Benjamin, which I do enjoy that kind of stuff from time to time. But funny enough, they actually got the drummer for Breaking Benjamin to do some drum tracks on one of the songs, which was really, really cool. I still need to listen to this whole thing from top to bottom to really give a full opinion about it. But still, it's cool that a local band, one of their members, gave me a free copy of this album. So a little shout out to King's Hollow. Next up, we got the latest release from the one and only Hell Ripper, The Affair of the Poisons. Now, little bit of an announcement here. I'm going to kind of spoil something that's coming up with the Horseman podcast. Possibly in the next episode, either this weekend or the weekend after. I'll have to talk to him. But I actually got an interview scheduled with James McBain, the mastermind behind Hell Ripper, for the next episode of Horseman. That's going to be so much fun to do. Get to have another musician guest. We've had Daniel DK on the show. We're supposed to get Jeremy Wagner from Broken Hope on the show here in a couple of months. But to tie that over, we'll have James McBain eventually. I'll have to message him on Instagram to find out, like, if this weekend would be a good time or wait a little bit. But still, great album. Blackened speed, thrash, whatever you want to call it. It basically sounds like 80s proto first wave black metal, essentially, with some speedy, thrashy stuff. But yeah, I absolutely enjoyed this album when I heard it just recently, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. There's some like sticker smudges on the back that I need to freaking wash off, but still, great album and a really cool album cover. Next up, we get to one of the greatest EPs ever recorded, and I'm so glad I finally got this in the collection after so long of waiting. Hellhammer Apocalyptic Raids, which was basically the end of Hellhammer and eventually led to the beginning of Celtic Frost, because, I mean, you have Tom Warrior and Martin Ain or should I say Satanic Slaughter and Slade Necros in this band, and eventually broke the band up, and then the next day after breaking up formed Celtic Frost. But yeah, this is a great EP that came out in early '84, and it's a masterpiece. It led to the development of black metal and death metal right here, so awesome, awesome material. Can't complain. Now we're going to get into a couple of Darkthrone albums. First, we got their latest, Eternal Hails, which I'm thinking eventually here in a few weeks, thinking about doing a video of like the 10 albums I didn't get to review that I would like to shed some light on. This will definitely be one of them. I'm going to save that, my thoughts on this album, for that video. But yeah, Eternal Hails by Darkthrone. And then to complete the first 4 media book versions of these albums, as well as the Unholy Trinity, Under a Funeral Moon, which I actually really, really like this one, especially the song Dance of Eternal Shadows and To Walk the Infernal Fields. Those songs just absolutely kick ass. Yeah, just what more can I say about these albums that I haven't said already, or that everybody else has said? We got 4 more to go. Next up, we got another one-album band, but it was a hell of an album, and it helped pioneer the Swedish death metal scene, and that's Carnage Dark Recollections. Early Michael Amott stuff before he officially joined Carcass, and the rest of the members actually were dismember at the time, like Matty Karki, Fred Espy, David Bloomquist, among other guys in the band that played with Michael. And I mean, top to bottom, it's an underrated gem. I mean, songs like Blasphemies of the Flesh, Gentle Exhuming, Deranged from Blood. Top to bottom, Swedish death metal brilliance. Next up, we got an album I reviewed like a day or two after my last update, and that is Carcass Torn Arteries. I mean, I said in my review, this is an amazing album. I still need to give it some more listens to see if it'll actually stick with me, but still, great album, regardless of how many listens it takes. It's awesome. Speaking of awesome recent albums, we got Blood Red Throne's Imperial Congregation. I just did the review of this album the other night, and it's arguably the best death metal album of the year. Again, I'm not going to commit to that just in case, but still, it's an amazing album. I mean, so cool that Gunnar, the bass player, actually commented on my review, and I do want to say to you, Gunnar, if you're somehow watching this video too, thank you very much for your response. I may not be a drinker, but if you ever do a show in Ohio that's near me, and I'm there, I will gladly buy you a beer. I don't care. And then the final album that I got is Blood Incantation Star Spawn. So I started to get more into Blood Incantation because of my love of the band Time Ghoul, and that Blood Incantation kind of took a lot of influence from Time Ghoul and create cosmic, proggy death metal. I still need to get their EP and Hidden History of the Human Race, and then I would have everything of Blood Incantation. But still, amazing band. Just great songwriters. What more can I say that hasn't been said about those guys already? But with that said, thank you guys for watching update number 3 of my CD collection. Yeah, the collection keeps growing. As far as like when the next update's coming, because I'm going to be going on vacation here in a few weeks and possibly going to some CD shops, I'm going to try and get as much as I can of what I can find, and that will be when the next update will happen. So probably sometime early November will be the next update. But until then, horns high, and I will see you very, very soon.
Right underneath you. You're just gonna have to run around for a second while I... Oh. Okay.
Why is there so much... Oh god, there's a horde of spiders.
You were slain by spiders, man. I'm not a super
You're just on an island paradise while we're over here fighting for our lives.
We're at the same coordinates I was at
so many
before.
sounds out
Just
there.
killed a
Right?
zombie by
Okay, I'm here.
Oh my gosh! They were multiplying!
There's so many! What the fuck?
There are so many zombies! What is this? I don't think I've ever seen that many zombies in a group.
I don't want to be out
ever
here
in my
anymore. I've
life.
decided.
Must be
I've
nothing.
decided I don't want to be here. Okay, never mind. I'm not heroic, as it turns out.